Bring you the Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Alongside Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan, the fourth member of our crew. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. And for the Detroit Pistons, they come into tonight's game after the loss to the Nets. And that does your confidence guys no favor. They got manhandled in that one. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, not a very inspired performance for them, particularly when they were defending. They just gave that hostile crowd plenty to cheer for.
Well, when you're on the road, unless you're absolutely shooting the lights out, defense has to be your ally. The effort just wasn't there.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Thanks, Kevin. Since taking over, Pistons coach and team president Stan Van Gundy has quickly reshaped the roster. The wins have followed. He said, "We've come a long way. Now we've got a group of guys who fit together on the floor and are all high-character individuals. There's a much better feel." Kevin?
It's not just about raw talent, but how the pieces fit, D.A. Thanks. And when you look at these teams, both very tough on the glass.
Oh, yeah, high effort, high energy. They sharpen their elbows for this one. It's an inside battle.
Yes. And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. The Nuggets trail by 4. So on the floor for Denver, Harris and Gallinari are the wings. Prez out there with Plumlee, and it's Young in at the point. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Plumlee.
What an awful decision there. No reason that turnover should have taken place.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Now Udrich. And it's Baines in the corner. Smith kicks to Udrich. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Marjanovic. That shot is off. And Denver the other way now. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
And their series last year was a bit of a comparison between the two conferences. Both were in the middle of the pack.
To the middle. Great D that time from Cage. And you figured it was coming with his time playing for USA, but Prez has quickly become a very well-connected player in the NBA.
It certainly started there, but in general, Prez is just a really gregarious guy. The league is a little buddy-buddy nowadays, and Prez fits right into that whole environment.
There are many heartbreaking stories in the NBA, but Prez's is right up there. Lost his father, a former police officer, in a car accident at age 14. Just a tragedy to befall Prez and his family.
And it's why he's so close to his mom now. But Prez loved his dad, and a lot of how he plays and acts is in honor of his memory. I know if his father were alive today, he'd be bursting with pride in how his son has grown into a man.
It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. For Detroit, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Poked away, and it's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. "17 seconds left to play here in the first. 5 on the clock. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Smith for 3. The shot, no good. Good defensive work there by Young. Here's Cage. And no good trying to get that one. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Pistons lead by 2. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. Transitioning from college to the pros can be a challenge for many players. Here's what Prez had to say about adjusting his game to the NBA.
Man, it's crazy, but I would say that the biggest difference is probably endurance, both mentally and physically. Like the college season is, like 30, 40 games? And that's not even halfway through the NBA season, which is crazy. Plus you're playing against the best talent every single night. So it's it's definitely a grind, and I feel like I got so much to figure out still. But I will say this, man, I'm thankful for trainers like Xavier Cross that helped me figure out what I need to be doing.
Yeah, good points. What role does a trainer have in helping young players, guys, adjust to the long NBA schedule?
Trainers help the players endure the physical punishment their bodies take during the long season. For these young guys, it's all about improving your conditioning, just like you improve your game. A lesson I'm sure Prez will learn over time.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
You're right. They've been extremely active, physical, really dictating the flow of this game.
Morris is down low with Drummond. Udrich out there with Smith. And it's Harris in at the small forward. That's the group for Detroit right now. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, as you know, things could have turned out a lot differently for Stan Van Gundy. He was the favorite for the coaching vacancy in Golden State in 2014, but in the end, the Pistons owner gave him the chance to coach and run the front office, and that led him to Detroit. Now, the Warriors went on to win the title that season, but Van Gundy insists, if I had to do it over again, this is exactly where I'd want to be. And Kevin, he can build this team exactly as he wants.
Thanks, D.A., and after some tough exits in Miami and Orlando, this time he holds the cards. The Nuggets have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Denver on top, up by 16. And now...
Kevin, thanks. Here with Stan Van Gundy. Coach, the biggest challenge you're facing in this game?
Well, we're playing with no energy, and our defense is terrible. We're sending them to the free throw line all the time.
Other than that, everything's great. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
Bring it in, guys. Hey, great work in the first half. I love the energy, fellas.
Welcome back to the Palace at Auburn Hills. That's a look at the Renaissance Center, which dominates the skyline. A different look for Denver. Prez comes in for Kenneth Faried. Young is subbed in for Jameer Nelson. Taking a look at the Nuggets, Cage, he's in at power forward. Young is out there with Will Barton. Then it's Wilson Chandler. And it's Jokic in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Now, when you think about Andre Drummond, the first thing you think about is his relentless rebounding. He's arguably the best rebounder in the game. Just inhales misses off the glass. Routinely, he can go out there and get you 20 boards easily.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. And the wide-open shot from Morris. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
And stolen by Drummond. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And he hits it and gets hacked down the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
I love his effort so far. It's scoring at a consistent clip. Unfortunately, though, his team remains well behind.
So for the Pistons, Udrich comes in for Caldwell Pope, and Smith subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Young outside. Gallinari passes to Cage. Harris outside. Fires from deep. Good on the three-point shot. Harris has got 7 points in the game.
Ooh, what a passer. You have to commend Prez on how he whips the ball around the floor.
Smith against Young. Here's Udrich. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time.
Solid trip down the floor. The offense is firing on all cylinders.
Harris outside. Back to Young. Denver passing it around. And stolen by Drummond. Now Detroit moving it up. Ahead. And it's blocked by Cage.
What defense from Prez, timing the rejection perfectly and sending the shot away with some real nastiness.
So for the Pistons, Marjanovic checked in for Andre Drummond, and it's Aaron Baines in for Harris. And Denver with a change here too. Plumlee's checked in. Morris. And the shot falls short this time.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Well, that's just not wise to take that shot in that situation. He'll think better of it next time around. How about that assist? Accurate toss inside for the high percentage look.
And Udrih kicks to Marjanovic. There's the pick. Morris, left side. Shoots it up. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
He had all the room in the world to get that up, but somehow blew it by rushing it just a tad.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
And when Prez speaks, you listen. He commands the respect of his teammates and gets it too.
Udrih, the pass to Marjanovic. Smith against Young. Smith dishes to Baines. And Udrih kicks to Smith. 5 on the clock. To the middle. Here's Marjanovic. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. For Detroit, they have made 7 free throws and missed 3 in this game.
And looking at last season's numbers, down below 70% as a team from the line.
He hits the second from the line. Denver's gone 7 of 11 from deep tonight, using the three-pointer to their advantage. And finish off by Prez.
Wow, just look at that lead. Both ends. They have been the team in control.
I mean, it's just no mercy. They want to leave no room for error here.
Here's Smith. Pass to Marjanovic. And he lays it straight in. Marjanovic has got 5.
A defensive breakdown there, no doubt about it. I mean, he's a guy you have to be focused on defensively.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Nuggets ahead, running away with it. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. Let's listen in now to head coach Stan Van Gundy from a few moments ago.
We need to make solid plays, okay? Solid plays, aggressive plays, but solid plays.
And we're rolling here. Both teams will make substitutions. Well, with a look at today's rosters, you'll see a veteran or two acting as a mentor on a team for young players. Chris, all teams want them. They need them for that balance. You've been on both ends of that relationship. Just how important is that for a young player? There's a lot of former players now in coaching in the NBA. And let's say you had to assemble a pickup squad from the head coaching ranks. Who are we talking about here?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I'm going with Jason Kidd, Tyrone Lue, Steve Kerr.
Yes.
Earl Watson. How about Luke Walton?
Yes.
And Scott Brooks, Doc Rivers.
Yes.
Man, the list goes on and on.
That's right.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Nuggets.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win. A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Jokic. He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Lures checked in for Drummond, and it's Caldwell Pope in for Jackson. Prez kicks to Fareed. Here's Chandler, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
And they've just done a great job of keeping this crowd out of the game. And we're getting closer to victory. The crowd's getting quieter.
Well, the fans have sounded lost and disappointed, which is exactly what they were hoping to accomplish.
Lure can't hit. And the call will be against Prez. And that'll be his third foul so far.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play.
So it's the Nuggets winning this one easily. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.